This presentation is brought to you by Arizona State University's Julianne Wrigley Global Institute of Sustainability and a generous investment by Julianne Wrigley.
So the crux of the argument when we turn to environmental issues, and the reason why this argument becomes central in the story of Merchants of Doubt, is because government regulation, that is to say government intervention in the marketplace, has historically been one of the principal tools that we have to protect people and the environment from the true costs of harmful products and activities. That is to say, when the market left to its own devices doesn't protect us from harm, then the government can step in, governments, plural, can step in through regulations to control those business activities and in other ways protect people and the environment. But regulation is opposed by both the business community and many individuals who see it as threatening freedom and personal choice. And one of the things we see in the history of climate change denial is that the language of freedom and the free market capitalism, free enterprise is very, very prominent in the writings, the brochures, the websites of organizations that challenge the scientific evidence of climate change. And in some cases, we even see the word freedom or free enterprise in their names, like the American Enterprise Institute, the Competitive Enterprise Institute, Frontiers of Freedom. And this is my favorite, Let Freedom Ring. I mean, that's so great. You know, I want to join an organization called Let Freedom Ring, right? And even many environmental groups stress the role of individual action. So this is an ad from the Nature Conservancy that I saw in an airport. How many light bulbs does it take to change an American? Well, I think the problem with that way of thinking is that climate change cannot be solved one light bulb at a time. And the reason is because energy use is structural. Various studies at MIT, at the Rocky Mountain Institute, many other places have looked at questions of energy efficiency. They've looked at questions about what individuals can do on their own to reduce their energy consumption. And almost all of them agree that most of us, the vast majority of us, could reduce our energy consumption by 20 to 30% without significant changes in our lifestyle, without significant hardship, and we would save money at the same time. So why we do that is an interesting social scientific question, but not my topic here today. My topic here today is, what about the other 70%? And if we look at the data that's available, this particular chart comes from the IPCC, but there are similar charts you can get from the Environmental Protection Agency. Many other groups, World Bank, have all done analyses, and they're all more or less the same. They vary a little bit. The principal areas of greenhouse gas production are associated with four major sectors. The biggest one is electrical power generation, then industrial use, forestry, and agriculture. Residential and commercial buildings, 8%. Less than 10% of all energy used in the United States is personal residential. These four sectors, electrical power, forestry, agriculture, industry, as individuals, most of us, with some exceptions, maybe you're the CEO of a corporation, but most of us have very little or no control over these sectors, except through the arms of our government, through laws and regulation. So if we want to see changes in the way industry operates or changes in the way electricity is generated in the United States, we can't just act as individuals. We have to act in some kind of collective fashion. Now, I'm not saying, and let me be very clear about this, I'm not saying that we should not do what we can as individuals. There are many good reasons why, as individuals, we should do what we are able to do. But the statistics of energy use make clear that as individuals acting as individuals cannot stop anthropogenic climate change.
This presentation is brought to you by Arizona State University's Julianne Wrigley Global Institute of Sustainability for educational and non-commercial use only.